And we are now joined by the NCOP delegation leader, Ms. Winnie Ngwenya, to talk about these oversight visits. Ms. Ngwenya, thanks for your time. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thanks very much, Sakina.
Ms. Ngwenya, there have been... Welcome. There have been numerous reports detailing some of the concerns around what has been happening at Charlotte Maxeke and recently at the Chris Hani Baragwanath hospitals. So what did your visit to these hospitals establish?
Firstly, Sakina, you must understand that the NCOP is the second house of the parliament, and NCOP got its own programs in terms of the provinces. So as NCOP members, we are back to our provinces in terms of provincial week. So we are here to do oversight and to check all the challenges that the municipality have, that together, how are we going to solve it? And also to make sure that the report that we are going to come with, we are going to finalize when we go back to Parliament.
So, as you point out, you know, your role as the NCOP, in terms of oversight, you know, what exactly then were these visits meant to establish, and what did you in fact find?
The purpose of the oversight is to check the delivery of all municipality, but it's not to say we're going to take all. We just pick up the places that we see that there are challenges, or the place that were visited before. We found that there are challenges now. We come back to see that on what we've got last, is it any improvement, and what more can we do together on other challenges that they are having.
So can we be more specific, please, Ms. Ngwenya? Let's take Charlotte Maxeke as a start. So what was the status report previously, and what did you find from yesterday's visit?
We find that there's still a lot that needed to be done in terms of the fire that have happened at Charlotte Maxeke. Is not an issue that you can say it can be solved today. As you know that when we talk about Charlotte Maxeke, we're talking about the hospital. We're talking about the hospital that got people that are working, people that they are sick, ICU and whatever. It's not like your house and my house. When it is banned, we can put even a tent and stay in the tent. Meanwhile, they are renovating. There are places that need to be renovated. There are places that were not affected by the fire. So the situation is different. But at the very same time, it's going to take a delay to finish completely. But some of the areas like parking and other 1.5 portion also is going to be fixed completely by next year, 2023. It's not to say the whole hospital is going to be done 2023. Yes, it's still going to take a long time to do it.
And that is part of the problem, isn't it, Ms. Ngwenya? Because using and drawing on the analogy that you just used, that this is not yours and my private residence. This is a facility that many people rely on for healthcare services, and critically so. And therefore, one would have imagined that there would be more urgency in making sure that the facility was back up and running. Now, again, I didn't quite get what your report showed the last time out. When was the last time that the NCOP paid an oversight visit to Charlotte Maxeke?
No, we never visited. Remember, we started 2019. So that time I was not even a member of NCOP. So this was my first time to visit Charlotte Maxeke as member of parliament. I used to go to Charlotte Maxeke as a patient, not as a member of parliament visiting the hospital.
So just in terms of the oversight as a parliamentary body, not as individual members of parliament per se, surely there must have been some documentation about what parliament had received in terms of reports on Charlotte Maxeke and what had happened post the fire.
We are not yet have a report. We did ask them yesterday that we need a report as soon as possible, because there was no report. It was just a presentation of giving us the history of Charlotte Maxeke and also the issue of the fire, that how is the fire have happened in Charlotte Maxeke. But the challenge that we face is that there was no report that is telling us who have put this fire in the hospital and what is the report, where is the report of forensic. We never get that. So those are the two things that I can point for now, that is very important for us to get it before we go back to Parliament.
This is a year on. I think that fire happened in April 2021, Ms. Ngwenya. So if you are now looking for the cause of the fire, with all due respect, it seems as though this was a bit of a futile visit then. Because as the media, there have been so many reports about what has been going wrong. Doctors at this facility, nurses, have spoken out about the slow pace of actually repairing the facility. You talk about equipment that has gone missing from inside the hospital. And this is a facility that spends around 40 million rand per annum on security. So those sort of issues, did the NCOP delegation not get into that with the hospital management?
No. What we have got is that at the parking, as the parking have been affected, all the cars are parking outside, and that have caused the cars to be stolen. Then in terms of other equipment and whatever, we never got that. Hence we said we want a full report.
But in terms of your preparation as the NCOP delegation, again, with respect, Ms. Ngwenya, did you not take a look at what has been reported on what is going on at Charlotte Maxeke? For example, there was theft of a fridge. Someone carried a whole fridge out of the hospital. This, while security has never been cut at the facility, they've always been there, as I said, at a cost of a whopping 40 million rand to government and the taxpayers of this country. 6 plasma TV screens were stolen, 3 laptop computers, desktop computers to the value of 120,000 rand. These are just a few things that conveniently walked out of that facility, in spite of the fact that there is security there. Not to talk about all the other fittings and fixtures, metal that was stolen to be sold as scrap. So I'm just curious as to what exactly then was the purpose of the NCOP delegation's oversight visit, if you didn't get into all of these specifics.
Sakina, I think some of the things that you are raising is also going to help us, because as I said to you at the beginning, we don't have a report that is telling us, one, who banned the hospital, and two, security issue. It was raised, but what you are telling me right now, we never got it. We got only the stolen of cars. So, Sakina, I don't want you to speculate. I'm here to get the report and what have happened at Charlotte Maxeke. Then the sooner we get this report, it's whereby we are going to say what we want to say. I cannot say anything if they didn't give us that report.
What about the fact that it has taken now in April next month, it will be exactly a year, and according to the healthcare practitioners who work at this facility, they feel that very little to nothing has been done. And then you have the Gauteng Department of Health and, of course, the Infrastructure Department as well. There's been something happening there with regard to the cost of these repairs, and the Premier's office obviously also had to step in, and they've moved all of this responsibility, I think, at this point to the Department of Health, because it seems as though there was also a quotation that was somewhat inflated for the actual fixing of this particular facility. Did you get into those specifics at all?
No, Sakina. I'll repeat again. As long as you are not yet getting the report, I can't get on those things that you are asking me right now. The report is the one that is going to guide us. What to ask, what not to ask. We are going to get this report and get a clarity, thoroughly clarity.
But Ms. Ngwenya.
Yes, but for now, Sakina, you know better than me. I'm here because I want to hear everything that you are saying to me right now. So I cannot answer your question now until we got a report that is black and white, that is telling us what is happening and what we are saying right now. Then it's whereby I can answer you. But for now, we're still doing our work and we're waiting for the report, thoroughly report that we're going to work on top of it.
But Ms. Ngwenya, what work did you do in preparation for this visit? I'm curious now, because it seems as though, as per your own recollection of what happened, you went there and you went to ask for a report. And this facility has already been closed for 11 months now. It's 2 weeks short of a year. Now, surely there had to have already been reports. If you needed to go there for an oversight visit, shouldn't you have requested that report prior to your visit? Shouldn't you have gone in there with questions to ask of the management of that particular facility as to why these delays are taking place? Because in the absence of that, Ms. Ngwenya, what was the point?
Sakina.
Yes, Ms. Ngwenya.
You are pushing me to answer you, and I'm trying to answer you. How can I answer you if I don't have a report? I'm here because I want a report.
So you got no report from the Premier's office?
We don't have that report at Parliament. I'm here because to get this report, Sakina. Then when we got the report, then it's whereby we are going to consolidate what we have and what we've got from them. Then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Let's move to the Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital. In terms of that facility, what was, again, the motivation for visiting that particular facility, Ms. Ngwenya?
We must remember that Chris Hani Hospital is the biggest hospital in Gauteng or in South Africa. So there's a lot that have happened in that hospital. So same apply at Chris Hani Hospital. In terms of the challenges that they are having, there are a lot that is not yet fixed. Hence, we're going there to check on the challenges that they were having before. Is it any improvement? Yes, there is improvement, but they are still having challenges. One, the issue of the laundry, the issue of the delaying of payment of the service providers, that caused that toy that you saw, that the patient are buying food with their money. Then when we get the presentation yesterday, we find that there is food, meat and veg and whatever. The challenge was on the bakery. in terms of the bread. They are saying the service provider was not paid. Then the service provider decided not to deliver the bread because of the delaying of payment, which to me, it was not supposed to be like that. That need to be fixed, the issue of delaying to pay the service providers.
So
There are petty issues like toilet paper. You go to the toilet to find that there's no toilet paper. So all those small things is too big to us and the patient also.
And what were the reasons?
To have that petty issue when we go to the hospital.
Correct, Ms. Ngwenya. So what were the reasons given to you for why the service providers were not paid on time?
There were a lot of challenges, even in the issue of the what they call the vacancies. It's a challenge. It shows that there's a shortage of staff. But at the very same time, you got the report that there are, in terms of COVID, they've got overcrowded of patients. Moreover, those who are coming from Charlotte Maxeke and coming from other provinces. And at the very same time, the staff is not enough. So there's a lot, Sakina. You ask yourself, if there's a shortage of staff, meanwhile there are vacancies that have been funded, why we're having a shortage of staff? So those are the things that make us to stand up and say, let us go and check what is the challenge really.
So you were there, Ms. Ngwenya.
Sakina, there's a lot of challenges. It's a pity the document is not on me. When I come to the point of the challenges, I think there were more than 10.
Indeed.
So because I don't have the document on top of me, just imagine 10 points of challenges. What is telling you, Sakina?
And that is the problem, Ms. Ngwenya. The problem with these challenges is that they are by no means new. These are the same challenges that these hospitals have been encountering with the addition of a few, like now with the overflow of patients coming from Charlotte Maxeke. And as they had put it previously, I think a representative had said, you're transferring the patients, but you're not transferring the budgets along with those patients in order for the hospital to cater for it. So again, all of these seem to have been well documented, Ms. Ngwenya. You were there. The CEO of the hospital was there. What were the answers that were given to you in terms of funded posts that have not been filled when we have huge unemployment in this country and the staff that is there is really suffering under the weight of the work that they have to do and the duties they have to perform? What was the answer from the CEO as to why funded posts have not been filled?
It's about the budget. The budget, every budget is allocated for the needs of that issue. So the delay of them to fill this post, it was what we are saying right now, that there's if you transfer the people from other hospital and that people, they were not even budgeted. We remember we're talking even about the beds and all that. So yeah, it's a challenge, Sakina. Some of the questions they did ask, we are satisfied, but some were not satisfied with the response.
So where to from here? Ms. Ngwenya, because you visited two of the biggest hospitals. I can tell you some of the other hospitals in the province are equally buckling under pressure. There's a whole list of challenges that can be rattled off right off the top of my head right now, but we won't go into that. Let's just say, where to from here for the NCOP and the delegation that visited these two hospitals? What are you going to do now?
Sakina, we've got a program of Gauteng, but we were targeting only two hospitals. Remember, these other hospitals are linked with the hospitals that we're going to. So we did get the problems of those hospitals, and when we are done on Friday, it's whereby we are going to sit down and consolidate our report. Therefore, we are going to get a full report of our work that we have done from yesterday up to Friday.
Well,
we need to patient to wait, Sakina, to get report to us.
So you didn't give a deadline, Ms. Ngwenya? You don't think this is very serious, that a year on, there needs to be a lot more urgency in dealing with this matter, especially in the Charlotte Maxeke case?
No, we did tell them that we want a deadline. Before we go back, they must give us a report, and it must have a time frame that this is 1, 2, 3 that we have done, and by this time your report as NCOP will be ready, then we'll take it from there. I don't think that we are going to go back without getting that report. We gave them enough time to give us feedback, yes.
And did they tell you when the Charlotte Maxeke Hospital is likely to reopen the units that are closed?
I did report it to you that it's not the whole unit that is going to be open. It's only one, maybe.
Hence, I'm saying the units that are closed, Ms. Ngwenya, have they given you a time frame as to when those are likely to reopen?
Yes, they did give us that a 1.5 portion is going to be open next year, 2023. They didn't give us the date and the month.
Ms. Ngwenya, let's leave it there.
Sakina, I think, understand me. If I said to you, let us work on top of the report, then I think it's going to help us, both me and you.
I'm sure, you know, Ms. Ngwenya, any sort of help would be welcome at this time. It's just the frustration of a year on and copious numbers of reports detailing some of the frustrations, not only of doctors, but also of patients, of everyone who makes use of that facility. And the fact that there does seem to be some sort of dodgy dealings also going on, quite over and above the theft that has gone on at this facility, in spite of the fact that it has security guards employed to the tune of 40 million rand per annum, which could employ a small army, but things are still walking out of the facility. So these are just some of the frustrations that the public is confronted with head on, Ms. Ngwenya, and the public is looking to you as elected representatives, as lawmakers of this country, to assist and make sure that not only are people held accountable, but there is actually speedy movement in getting the facility up and running again.
You know what? I cannot repeat what we are talking.
No, that's all right. That is absolutely fine, Ms. Ngwenya.
Remember, I gave you 10 minutes, and you want me to repeat one thing. We talk about the security. So, Sakina,
yes,
wait
Ms.
for
Ngwenya.
us to finish our work, then you'll get your answer. Because now you are taking me back where we have started in terms of the...
No, not at all, Ms. Ngwenya.
And my time now is up.
That is fine, because I think we have covered everything that we are possibly able to cover. I don't think we're going to get beyond where we are right now. So, Ms. Ngwenya, I thank you for your time this morning, and hopefully we'll speak again once you have received that report. But for now, that's where we'll park it. NCOP delegation leader Winnie Ngwenya discussing the state of Gauteng's hospitals this after yesterday's visit by the National Council of Provinces to two of the country's biggest hospitals. That's the Chris Hani Baragwanath and Charlotte Maxeke academic hospitals in Johannesburg. Both hospitals have been beset with problems, and you heard what the parliamentary delegation's oversight visit yielded there. So you can make up your own mind on that one.